Yeah, boss. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Eric. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I would like to ask you a few questions about your name and what you do, sir.
Okay, my name is Femi Adeleke. I'm the CEO of Morals.ng. We do commercial and residential art installations.
Okay. I would also like to find out because so far so good. I've seen your art somewhere, some other places, and I would like to know what are you doing different than you feel other artists are not doing or other people in your industry are not doing. What are you doing differently?
Well, I think the first thing is that, we've identified a need in a specific type of customer that wasn't really being serviced by anybody else, right? A lot of people buy our art for commercial spaces because they use this as a means to, improve the offering that they are offering to their customers in terms of making the ambiance, the space more attractive and more marketable. So I think, providing value to our customers in that way is one good thing that's really big, serving a specific type of customer. And another thing is, the art itself. So at Morals.ng, we make what I consider the best arts in the world. We really do everything possible to create the best art that we can possibly create. From the design, from the finish, from the materials, from the creative concept. We are extremely anal about just making everything be the best, the best experience, the best art possible, because anybody can just call a muralist, from anywhere and start painting some flowers on the wall for you. But we don't do that here. We think about the person, the place, the context, and then we come up with our own creative ideas for and are just an overall better experience, because if you have a really good product, people will like it. So we just focus on that.
Good. Interesting. That's very interesting. That's interesting. So I would also like to find out what the industry is like in Nigeria, or what is it? Are you saying that the industry is lucrative, like it's going well, or is something they can do to improve the market?
Well, I would say the creative industry is a very interesting sector. I feel like there's a lot of economic indicators that these industries have the most growth potential for Nigeria. When I say creative industries, I'm talking about movies, music, art, any product and service that is based on culture, is going to do very well, because we just have a lot of culture. Nigeria is one of the most culturally diverse places on the planet. A lot of people talk about our natural resources and they think that's the most valuable thing that we have. But the most valuable thing that we have is actually our people. Our people with their ideas, their backgrounds, their various cultures, that is a very valuable asset that we have, and not a lot of people have that, to that degree. So if you understand how to create products and services that are culturally based, you're gonna do very well, and there's a lot of export potential there as well, because not just Nigerians are interested in Nigerian culture, the entire world is interested in it, because we make some of the best products in those categories.
So your art itself also carry along with the culture.
Yes.
So far so good. What are the is place that you have, or people that you have worked with, or a place that you have worked with before that we have your major work, like art, like a cultural kind of work, maybe you tell what are those, or the places you have been to apart from Lagos to do this kind of work?
Okay, well, I'll talk about a project we just finished in Okija, Anambra. I don't know if you can see this. So we made, I think, 17 humongous murals. I think it's probably the biggest mural installation of the country.
Wow.
And all the murals were based on the culture of the good people of Anambra. So what I've been doing lately is like we make any murals that are really really cool. We make frameable or hangable versions of them that we can have in our gallery. So these are just some hangable versions of the art that we installed in on that project. But as you can see, this is an Anambra masquerade. This is another one. This is another Anambra masquerade, and this is a prolific Igbo leader from Anambra. So our work is very culturally inspired. I think we have amazing culture. Like where else in the world are you going to see something like this? Like look at the piece of art that we made based on a masquerade from Anambra. So yeah, so
good to know you're moving, you're going fast. So how will you say you're going to see yourself or see this company in like next 5 years, next 6 years, in terms of growth or in terms of marketable achievements?
Well, my plan is to grow the company like crazy. I'm a Nigerian businessman, and we like success, we like growth. I'm not different from any other Nigerian businessman in that way. And the plan is to just continue serving my customers with better products, introduce new products in other markets, and grow the business that way by product first. And product doesn't necessarily have to be in morals. So we're introducing new products for other markets. We've been at this for a while, and we do a lot of experiments. We try this here, this there, and we see that okay, this customer is interested in this. It might not be something that we're focused on at the time, but we can just identify product market fit based on things that people are asking for. And I think at this point we have product market fits on multiple fronts. There's about 5 products in the pipeline which are not even just art. There's software, there is some products related to fashion. There's even products for what would be considered our competitors that we're planning to release. And there's a lot of interesting stuff in the pipelines. And there's also a very big community of Nigerians in diaspora that are interested in what we've been doing. We've been exporting a lot of art. I don't know if you saw those padded wallpaper panels in the living room. Those are going to the US. We have another one going to the UK. So Nigerians all over the world are interested in what we're doing, and we're figuring out ways that we can serve them as well as the Nigerians that are inside Nigeria. So I think in terms of growth, I think based on our use of technology and our creative cultural inclinations, I think it's just a very interesting type of company. I don't think there's a lot of companies that are approaching product markets the way we are. And I actually believe that what we've figured out here is going to be the new template for growth for startups in Africa.
A lot of things are changing in terms of technology. How will you say technology have helped your business in terms of distributing that positive way in your industry?
So I think that's the question you should ask first, because this business, it basically, I started it since 2021, but it was basically just a curiosity until some extremely potent AI tools came on the market. And it was leveraging those technologies and tools, artificial intelligence, some other tooling that we use. Obviously, I'm not going to tell all my secrets on camera, but the technology is what made the business scale. It's what made it economically viable. It allowed us to have a lot of leverage in terms of distribution, in terms of the quality of our offering, in terms of just how quickly we can put out the best product, and serve our customers with high quality offerings. So I would say technology is at the forefront, and that's basically going to continue to inform all of our product decisions into the future. So I would say, and the way we kind of structure things is, as the technology gets better, our business also gets better. The technology improves, our ability to produce, distribute, serve our customers also improves. So I think that's a very good way to have leverage in your business. I think a lot of people are approaching AI by just trying to build AIs. Nigeria is a very interesting place, because there's a lot of things that we don't have. There's a lot of opportunity for, innovation based on that. So if you're in a country like Nigeria, I don't think it makes sense to say, oh, I'm building large language models. It would be very difficult to compete, because look at your immediate environment. There are other problems that are closer to home that need to be solved. If you're working on machine learning, how many particular clients are you going to find in this environment? But people need to eat, people need to move around, people need, there's a lot of other problems that affect the vast majority of our people. And I think way too many smart people are focused on doing sexy sounding things. They're too focused on internet stuff. So you just need to understand that technology is primarily a tool. It's a tool for creating economic value, and you just need to find ways to impact your environment based on use of technology and creating things that people find actually useful. So that's what I'll say about that.
Cool. Find out all this thing you are achieving in terms of technology, try to make difference. You're working in different states. You also supply other countries so. What will you say is the challenge? What's the challenge on this your industry that you are battled with, or you are finding a way to figure out? What's the challenge?
Well, this is Nigeria now. There's going to be challenges every single day. Big challenges, small challenges. One thing that I'm going to speak about that I feel like affects the vast majority of Nigerians is, moving around from state to state, moving your people, moving your things. It's not safe. People can get kidnapped on the roads. And I think that's a very big limitation in terms of how we can develop our country, because if you're in Lagos and you have value to offer to people all over the country, but the challenges associated with just moving your people, your products from that place to that other place, so that you can build stuff, you can introduce things, you can help move along development, is just so hard and so dangerous and so expensive. So I think that's the biggest challenge, and I really want us to put our heads together and figure that out, because if we can just allow ourselves to move around freely, exchange products, exchange services, build things for each other. For instance, you came from your shop to come and provide a service to me here, right? Imagine if you couldn't move. Do you understand?
That's what makes a lot of things up.
Now, how are you going to make a living? Do you grab? And how am I going to get the value? So it's such a key thing, and I feel like the fact that we have this problem, is really stifling a lot of economic activity. So I think, we all need to put our heads together and figure out a solution. I mean, to the people that are doing the kidnapping and everything, I understand where they're coming from. They're probably feeling disenfranchised. They're probably feeling like they don't have any options. They don't have anything. The government's not offering them anything. Nobody's offering them anything. I would say to them, go into logistics business. Do you understand? Start moving people around, move things around, and charge people for it. Do you understand? Instead of kidnapping people, kidnapping people that are coming to these places to add value, provide services to them, help them move things around, or just find a better way of, making money that doesn't also stifle your country's growth. Because if you're living in one of these dangerous areas and you're thinking about, oh, there's nothing to do, if we cannot build businesses and infrastructure in those places, there will be nothing to do. Right. But if you allow people to move around, you allow them to come out there, build some morals, do some things, that's going to create some economic activity, and that's going to create prosperity for you. So we're basically, shooting ourselves in the foot. So let's not think about, let's just think about, trying to work together instead of, victimizing each other. And we're all in this together. We're all Nigerians. Nigeria is our country. You grab is our own. So why are we like doing this to ourselves? We don't need to. We can work together. I mean, like, I'm a Yoruba man, right? I'm from Oshogbo, and look at what I'm doing for people in Anambra. You understand? We all have value to offer for each other. So let's not like, use tribal sentiments to justify these things. Let's think about it in terms of we're all Nigerians. We're all working together, helping each other to build the country of our dreams. Because if you go to any other country, it's people that just decided that, okay, let's do this, let's get this country going. They just decided that, okay, this is our country, let's make it as good as we can. We all deserve to have a country that we are proud of. So let's not do stuff to like make that impossible or difficult. Let's work on things that are productive. You don't have to like solve all the country's problems. You just don't need to contribute to the problems. So if you're a kidnapper, this is for you. Do better.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate and understand the way you're able to describe how we can come together to make the country better. Just as you said, look at what you're doing in Anambra. I never knew this is very educative at the same time, because I never knew this is like they have a masquerade.
Yeah, this is called Adanga. I think the other one is called Zaga.
This particular one.
Yeah.
Okay. What about this? I know.
I think this is in Namibia.
Yeah, no, not in Namibia. This is a novel. This man writes a novel. This is a.
Yeah. Sorry, what's it called?
Achebe.
Yeah, Chino Achebe.
Chino Achebe.
Chino Achebe.
So you can see how everything works for good. You're able to bring the culture together. It's very interesting.
There's my honey there.
Because the top. That's what we do. Yo, this Eric Fresh Out. Curiosity Barber. Let's see.
So he doesn't start dribbling you.
Thank you, boss.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the cut. This is my boss. I've been cutting him for like 8 years now, or 7 years.
There, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.